A very good afternoon to fellow Nigerians around the world, and of course the good people of the South region, my Anyoma people, and the entire people of Ika. A very quick message I simply titled, "Who or what they say we are should not be as important as to who we are about to become." I've been having challenges making this presentation since morning, but let's see how it goes. As a result of this, it is imperative that we teach our children our origin. Very important. These are the most vital aspects of our life. When the people are attacked, the first thing you do is to distort their history. It is to lower their value system. It is to demonize their culture and tradition. And that will give birth to self-hate. And once you hate yourself, you lose the ability to fight for survival. You lose everything. It's obvious today in Nigeria there are a group of mischievous individuals who are running up and down. They have tried Biafra. It didn't work because they sabotaged it themselves. They are now trying to go to the Aso Rock through obedient movement. It didn't work because they are the one that also sabotage it themselves. And presently, they are making effort to unite themselves with everybody uniting. And so everybody must be Igbo. It's quite unfortunate that a lot of Igbo people are not ready to address this monster. And so what they are doing is these criminal-minded people are trying to make it generalize or make it look as if we are talking to Igbo people. No. But if that is what it will mean in the end, then so be it. This group of Igbo people, Obidio Bienu know them, they say they came from Israel. They are everywhere in Anyoma land, making effort to see that they unite Anyoma and Igbo. They've even been able to penetrate one of our senators, who is now calling out that Anyoma should be carved out to enlarge the southeast region. But then while they're doing what they are doing, the only thing we can do now is to make sure that we tell our children our true origin. I have told them that Igbo unification we cannot sell because they don't know us. I remember one of the meetings I had with the late Omo Fokpanam regarding this issue. And having had this discussion, she called me aside and said, I love your submission in that discussion. But despite everything you have said, what do you think will be the opinion of your king? And when he referred to my king in this instance, he was trying to tell me, what do you think the Obi of Agbo will say? Do you know the opinion of Obi Efe Zomo? These are some of the most reverend monarch we have in Eka land. He said, okay, let's see. We will push it to them and then see how it goes until she passed away. And now she's not here, but we know the truth. And that is why we're able to stand against it. That is why we continue to stand against it. And since we are standing against it, you can see them, they will come later on because they've been battling with my system until I have to do one or two things to be able to come on air. But of course, we shall upgrade it later. And so you see them, they will soon come out and start calling name and insulting, all those kind of stuff. That is their pattern, but it's outdated anyway. And so they are going about calling us name because we refuse to unite. They do not want to consider our history. They do not want to consider our origin. We must be who they say we should be. We must be who they want us to be. It's okay, but then it is left for us to ignore what or who they say we are and then focus on what we intend to be, which is the most important aspect of our life. You see, we are free moral agents, and as such, we have what it takes to chart our future, hold our destiny in our hands. But this fight is going to take longer than expected. And this battle, we may not be able to win this battle if we do not carry our children along. And so while people are busy saying all manner of things they are uniting us, like in my last broadcast, I simply asked them, what do they have on the table? You don't need to bother yourself, but you need to know what to do so that this destruction of history This disinformation will not erode the next generation of our people into error. If you watch all the people they are sponsoring to dish out this lie, you will see they are not been able to make impact just because few of us confronted them. Some of their religious leaders are involved. Some of their politicians are actively involved. Some of their ignorant and misguided brothers are involved. To them, it's about unity. But the unity that will eventually destroy us as a people cannot be considered as a unity. But I call them organized crime against the people of the South. And it will prove to be right in the end. And so let's look at it this way before I go to the aspect of you telling your children the truth. If you see Denmark as a country, you will know that Denmark citizens don't just come out and give name to their children. No, Denmark citizen or government have names that you must accept to give your children. Any name that is not constitutionally recommended, you cannot name a Denmark citizen that give that name to them. This is because they understand the impact negative name can cause. And if Denmark can go to that extent, what do you think they will do to their value system? What do you think they will do about their culture and tradition? It's a no-go area for anybody. And so we as a people must ensure that our culture and tradition is preserved, or else we will not be here in the next 100 years' time. Some of you will think, how possible is it? Let me tell you one secret nobody tells you. You see this south and southeast of Nigeria today, the first people who occupied this land were known as the mangroves. Before the era of conquer and dominate, the original people who were on this land, before they were Igbo, before they were Ijo, before they were Anyoma, before they were Benin, before they were any of us, they called them the mangrove. Only few people know this history. But they said they don't mix with strangers. And so when we began to migrate, they began to move into the ocean. The only remain of these people today can be found in the Atlantic Ocean around the Wakreke or Okreka axis. Over 700 kilometers into the Atlantic Ocean, there is an island that is still there till today. It is known as the mangrove. There are no more. And most of you don't know. Maybe they are still there because the few that may survive may have mixed up with some of the Jaw tribes, Urobo tribe, Ishekiri tribes, and thereabouts. Because they were not handing over this history to their children. You can imagine Africa. We don't know the original name of Africa until one Roman emperor gave us name, Africa, after his father's name. This is how bad it can be. So it's not going to start with us. If we ignore this call, believe me, in 100 years' time, there will be no Anyoma. Asian people, there will be no Asian. Because you see these Igbo people who say they come from Israel, that very group, you don't know what they are up to do. And so, as such, as the truth, we see that we are threatened as a people through organized crime, indirect organized crime against us. Now they are everywhere asking for unity. Are we fighting war? Are we quarreling? What are they trying to hide? Why all of a sudden the only agenda of the Igbo Biafra is to unite with us? They want to unite with Ikwere. They want to cause problem between Edo and Esha. They want to hit our heads together. They are now lobbying to carve us into the southeast. You think all these things are ordinary? Now, Anyoma has a complex history. A complex history which nobody can sweep under the rug. We have Anyocha, we have Osimiri, we have Ndokwa, we have Eka. Some of us are Yoruba descent. Some of us are Igala descent. Some of us are Igbo descent. Some of us are Benin descent. But for some reason which is not the essence of this broadcast, let's leave that side. But there was a time in our life where we came together and decide who we will become. We choose Anyoma, and that is who we are. And I can tell you that a project of almost 80 years, we've not been able to harmonize the relationship among Anyoma people. That is why we don't make too much noise about it. But while the process of harmonizing this relationship is still in process, our heritage, our culture, our value system, all of them have been tampered with. And so, Anyoma people, why you delay? Get ready. I'm not yet exposing them, because by the time we get to that stage, I will open my phone line so they can call question and insult and ask question, and that is when expose will start. Why we are dragging our feet to address the issue of Anyoma? These people rejected us that we are mixed blood. They know. I've told you severally when I went to a meeting with Ohaneze Ndigbo woman leader worldwide, and then Nyanwodo was there. When I introduced myself as Agbo man, the woman was shocked, and her response, I cannot forget that impression. Ndi Agbo, I was a Kwandi Igbo. It was Nyanwodo who systematically, he said, oh, but I know something is not right. And that was what gave birth to me going to research to find out who we are. If you say you are from Anyoma, let me address like Agbo people. Go and check your ancestors' name. You see, none of them are Igbo. Those good old days of progressive-minded Igbos, when Igbo man will tell you, when Igbo man will tell you that indeed, we loved them. And so we begin to abandon our original ancestral name and begin to answer Onyema and all the names you hear today. Is it not amazing? The colonial master, despite what they did to us, many of us now answer their name. Does it now mean that we come from there? Now, if you are from Abo, you should be familiar with families like Egbare. I'm mentioning first-class family of Agbo, if there is anything like that. It's Egbare, Igbo name. It's Ovia, Igbo name. It's Obaigbena, Igbo name. It's Rabo, Igbo name. It's Baleke, Igbo name. It's Mariri, Igbo name. It's Urugudu, Igbo name. It's Akumaze, Igbo name. I can go on and on and on and on and call his name for you. But somewhere along the line, we almost became one. But because this union was not baited out of sincerity and genuity, it did not work. And so we have been on our own as very long time. And then all of a sudden, they thought we have forgotten. They thought we don't know who we are. They started lying to their children. They tell their children that we are Igbo, which is not the essence of this discussion. And then they tell their children that we say we are not Igbo because we are afraid of Nigeria. They tell their children that the land we are staying belongs to Igbo people. That the moment they are able to get us, they will chase us away. That maybe we are slaves from somewhere, and then Nigerians defeated them and give their land to Ikure people and the rest. You can hear their story of abandoned property, but I'm not blaming them. Let them educate their children. But what have you been doing? You will come here and insult me as a Nyoma person. You married from Denmark. You married from India. You married from America. You married anywhere around the world. Believe me, you may not come back home. But we pray that all of you will come back home. Makanindi when you say atete jafi urulo. Atete jafi urulo. We saw when you people were leaving. We will witness you people's return. But if there is no place for you to return, where will you be? And so what I'm trying to say in essence in this broadcast is that it is time for you as a Nyoma man to begin to tell your children the true history of your people. It is you, the progressive-minded Igbo, for you to begin to tell your people the true history of your people. And by the time we begin to open this conversation with them, they will begin to ask questions. You see all the lies that are hidden in Igbo unity beggars, all the lies that are being dished out by Biafra people and obedient people, all of them will be exposed. So every day, make it a duty from today. Look at that your Chinese baby. Look at that your Japanese baby. Look at that your Malaysia, Indonesia, Israel baby. Look at those your foreign baby. They are our children. Whenever they choose, it doesn't matter how long they choose to come home. Certainly they will come home. Because time will change. Kingdom rise and kingdom fall. they can be able to find their way back home. Today, we are dragging who Okuano is. Igbo people say Okuano is from Imo. Benin say Okuano is from Benin. At least, whoever Okuano was, he can remember that he comes from West Africa, specific area within the current day South-South and the Southeast. And that is because this history was handed over to him. And so I'm calling on the people of Nigeria, not just Ikwere people, not just Anyoma people, not just the people of South-South, every Nigeria, tell your children your true origin, your true history, because this is who you are. This is what you will ever be. And what will become later on will be determined on the decision that we make. When you close from work, look at those your baby, your children. Tell them, this is where I come from. It's helped me a great deal. Because as a child, my father would take me to the village. He will parade me from community to community. And he will say to me, our great ancestors have 7 children. It was the 7 sons that gave birth to the 7 clans in our community. The first son is Ibiegwa. And the second son is this. And the third son is Ebueno. And the fourth son is this. He said, but the reason it looked like we're staying apart is because of some misunderstanding. In some history, they will tell you that community and this community are the same people. They will tell you the king of that community is supposed to be the king of this community. In fact, just early this year, I went to ask them a question between 2 communities, which I will not mention the name, in my area. And I was reliably told, I told them this community king have more regard than the other community king. What is actually the difference between them? Because both of them are respected. And the elders told me that that king who looked like he's the younger king, that they are the true king. But in those days when they go to fight war, that the king went to fight war and did not return on time. And so they thought he has been killed in the battlefront. And so his younger brother was crowned king. Many years on, he returned back home and then discovered that his younger brother had been crowned king. But our people say 2 of them will not fight over the throne because it's too late to dethrone his brother. And to settle the problem, the community was divided into 2. They asked him to move some distance away and set up his own kingdom. And his brother, younger brother, sat on their father's kingdom. And so when you think this community is greater, you will be shocked that their king, when he gets to the other community you think they are younger, will reduce himself to a chief. These are custom and tradition. But if you don't know, you will think because you come from the richer community, so that smaller community should be neglected. You challenge them, you place curse on your people. That is why Nnamdi Kanu told you that Ndi Igbo Bondowa Borono. I didn't say so. He said that on Radio Biafra. All of you were clapping for him. Nobody could ask him. But you are busy disgracing yourself that you want to unite me with Ndowa Borono. Ebuko Obi is busy telling you na nyewa Bondowa lili. Ne ikpeni Nnamdi Kanu ikpere na oga adene Nnamdi Kanu ma. Mana Nnamdi Kanu na ase na Ndi Igbo Bondowa Borono. All of you are witness to it. And so how can we unite with the people that are cursed according to Nnamdi Kanu? There are a lot of issues that need to be addressed. So if you don't tell your children this, your story, they will tell your children a distorted story. Your children will soon begin to hate you. You can imagine the story Igbo Biafra people said about me. I came back one day from work. My children were looking at me. Somehow very surprised. And it was unusual. And I asked them, why are you people looking at me like this? They started laughing. And my wife them and gave to me. And did you know what they were watching? As they hot, as they pepper. It was Darlington. Chibu came, Igbo Biafra. He was telling the whole world how I used to sleep with people's wife. How George ONYIBE was exposed. George ONYIBE is sleeping with people's wife. George ONYIBE wonyoshi. Simon Ekpa them. George ONYIBE liriegua ya tonechimo biulo. You need to see what they were saying about me. And I smiled. And my son asked me and said, but Daddy, these are the people you spend day and night doing Biafra. Look at what they are talking about you. What if we don't know who you are? What if we don't know the kind of person that you are? How will you be able to convince us? And I said, that is why I'm approachable. But I'm happy you know I am not who they say that I am. And you know what I tell them? And I have to be sincere. And I told them, you see these people, when you have dealing with them in the future, you have to be very careful. I will not condemn all of them, but you have to look thoroughly. And this was the same thing that they told me. Imagine the history they are giving you about me. After everything all of us have been through, what if I was their enemy? All their efforts now to kill Ijele, an Igbo man who has been cautioning these Igbo people from Israel, it's not going to work. If Ijele dies of a natural cause, and then let God take the glory. But you see Igbo people, you see all those your plan, moving him from Abuja to Sokoto, from Sokoto to Lagos, from Lagos, all this shenanigan, all this your Yahoo, is to bring him to Igbo, Biafra, Israel, so that you people can, the whole world is watching. Everybody know what is going on. Continue. And so how will another Igbo person be bold enough to come out and tell you that what is happening is wrong? Nobody would say. That is why I have not generalized it. Some will call me and say, you know our people. In fact, one of them even told me that they say the reason why I'm alive is because I'm not an Igbo man. They don't know what my people will do if they kill me. That is why they are keeping quiet. And you can see them carrying out the threat on Ijele, who was simply telling them the truth. They would have done the same thing to Nshema. They would have done the same thing to wounded civilian. But in my place, they say, Eza gwalamoku ye bon shen kwa hime. Eze sowa gwaloku, nsemba ye ku mwene kagwana. That is where they have found themselves now. Fellow Nigeria, people of South, tell your children your true origin. Don't hide it. A tribe does not form a city or a village. It takes many settlers to form a community. There is no community that is formed by one man and his children. Not even Abraham. Abraham married his sister, pregnanted his house help, Egypt. So the Israel you hear today are the product of Israel and Egypt. The Israel of Netanyahu, if they are the Hebrews of the Bible, it is a combination of Egyptians and Israel Hebrews, all of children. So there is no community that is formed by one tribe. But along the line, because you are not telling your children the story, how they got there, they will never know who they are. And so when they come out, they give you name. And so what I'm trying to tell you here is simple. My message to my people is simple. If you don't know the history of your village, begin to call whom and ask them. But if you know, start by telling your children where they come from. Now, I don't let my children, it's been a while, I don't let them greet me, good morning, sir, good afternoon, sir. No. When they see me, they say, Wama Baba, and I say, Warene. And that is how it's supposed to be. It's quite unfortunate, but I'm making effort towards that. They can't speak my language, but I'm making sure they will be able to speak it before my time is up. But you can't greet me in English. I'm changing it. They know where they come from. They can travel anywhere around Nigeria without me escorting them, even at the age of 16. They travel anywhere because they must know who they are. Most especially now that there are mischievous people on social media, distorting information. Some of you will think it's a joke, but they are doing a lot of damage already. I call upon you people of South. Go to Encyclopedia, go to Wikipedia, go to Google, every search engine available. Begin to find out, those of you on the internet, begin to find out the history they are writing about your people. Because one day these things may stand as a testament against your people. And there may be nobody there to defend it. Why do you think I am determined making my broadcast on daily basis? Because people are going to come across it in future and then they will begin to ask questions. We have not started telling our story. Our studio is on the making. We will come back full time. Don't let them deceive you. I say, oh, don't follow, he hate Igbo, he's anti-Igbo. I hate nobody, but I hate what most of you do. So, Anyoma people, go and begin to teach your children their history. Avoid these unity beggars everywhere, telling you everybody is Igbo. Eka is Igbo. Igodomigodo is Igbo. Agadamigada is Igbo. Bini is Igbo. Igbo owns Atlantic Ocean to Sambisa Forest. Igbo were the owner of Atlantic, what do they call it? Igbo owns everywhere. And these people, father, don't have one plot of land where they claim they come from. You migrated from Israel. Now you want to chase away the indigenous people. But the gullible, progressive-minded Igbo don't even know what is happening. To them and their enemy. But shoot yourself. This is where I bring the broadcast. It's just simple. I want you to know how important it is. Tell your children their origin. Tell them the true story. And of course, if you are Igbo, you are among us, you are now Agbo. Many of you were adopted. Many of you. Let me tell you a story before I go to the platform. There is a boy in one of our community. His father came to our village when we were small. And then the father and the mother died without taking those children back to the village. We all grew together thinking we're from the same place. But each time we gather to have discussion, they are not invited. I think it was recently one have to undergo certain culture and tradition to be fully incorporated into the family. And there is something that guy is doing now. We are watching him. He has been fully incorporated into the family. Now, Igbo people from Israel are giving him money to come and buy over our village. Somebody whose parents cannot feed very well. And they died. He couldn't go back home. Now, maybe I have discussed with one Igbo man from Israel and say, this is where I am. They are now giving him billion. He has almost bought half of our village. So, when they get the money, when we know Figo also get the money, organized crime against our people. I never expose these people. So Igbo have money, Igbo have money. They've been able, this Igbo from Israel have been able to organize and be buying some strategic areas of your land. When they are done with the area they want, and then they are going to move another process to distort Nigeria, which will now bring in the attention of international community. And in most cases, some of you will be taken unaware. Nigerian senators, Nigerian lawmakers should begin to look into that aspect. A boy we feed, a boy that they almost died of hunger, is now almost buying half of that village. You think we don't know? But why all this desperation? And the moment that guy has the privilege to settle, we know he's going to become a threat to that community. And by the time he starts, they will think he's Abo man. And by the time I'm talking, somebody will say, oh, we are Abo. Why are you saying this? Abo people didn't send me. Most Abo people send me. Did Anyoma people send Ned Nwoko? Did Igbo people send Ebuka? Why would they send me? I know you are not getting it. But don't worry. It's gradually. I will come out fully. So that thing they are hiding, you will know. There is one guy, maybe you should be here. He called himself, whether wise dies or dies wise. He called me and gave me my history. And I was shocked. And I tracked to find out who he is. He is one of those Igbo people born in Abo. And we accepted them as our children. Now he's working for Nnamdi Kanu. Igbo Unity Beggar. Autopilot. He's working with unknown gunmen. He's not the one showing them the nook and cranny of my village. You will see, it's not one of us. And so if you know those people in your village that you incorporated into your community because of long-standing relationship, you need to begin to check their activities because of this organized crime against indigenous people in Nigeria. So that I will not digress further, I only appeal to you, every ethnic groups in the concept of one Nigeria, please begin to tell your children the story. I'll be back here and with more updates. But that is what I want you to find out or have in mind at this moment. Let's see those I have on the platform. I have Ezioku Siso. I greet you, Ezioku Siso. I have Samuel Okurie. He say, watching from Germany. Samuel Okurie, I greet you. And I see, if you watch all these names, they are supposed to be Igbo people. Let's assume. But nobody is crying. Nobody is insulting me. Nobody is saying idiot, rubbish. But when Igbo Biafra person come here, certainly I will come across one of them. You will see how dirty and stinking they are. I see, is it Chike Nachi? What did he have to say? Let's see. He say, what? Bad energy. The white money that Igbo man have. Let me remove this my recorder. I'm coming and put on another one. Okay, it's a bad energy. The whole money that Igbo man have contributed to you. Contributed to you. Then what happened after contributing to me? Sick brother in India will torment you. You are very useless. That is one of the Igbo Biafra. Bad energy. Igbo people contributed to me, to use me. Now they cannot use me. It become bad energy. Igbo people gave me money to be shouting Biafra, Biafra. But when it was time to build security, they did not put a Biafra security outfit. They turned it to Eastern Security Network. My brother, the blood of non-Igbo that died because of Biafra, having been deceived by people like you, will torment all of you forever. All their spirits, spirit of Chukwumanzogo, spirit of Achuze, spirit of Asaba children that were massacred because of the betrayal from Ojukwu, spirit of all Midwestern region people that were killed in the name of Biafra, all of them will torment you, including spirit of over 6 million Igbo children that were starved to death because of Ojukwu greediness and selfishness. All of them will torment all of you to the end. Until you make confession and repent, you have declared the judgment of God upon yourself. And so how did it go? Mumu, Nachi, Onyoshi. That is how they are. I see Prince Armstrong there. I greet you, my brother. I see Adai baby. He say it's a Emevo Igbo name. I don't understand. Ade is a Omovon Igbo name. It's not. Except it has meaning in Igbo name. Because anything that look like their dialect is their own. We have Ola in Yoruba. We have Ola in Igbo. We have Ola in Bayelsa. But if my name is Ola now, Yoruba will not even be fast to claim me. Igbo Biafra man that say he come from Israel, we say it's Ola, it's Igbo, because his name is Ola. That is their problem. So once you have, don't you see Ijebudi? They are not Ijebu Igbo. Let's see, who do we have here? Let's see. Only one Igbo Biafra here so far. Let's see how many they have. Most of Ndi Igbo from Eastern region come to Agbo as tailor and Obioma. Today now, they are organizing money and trying to buy Agbo. People who cannot feed want to buy our community. Whoever country is sponsoring them, whoever they are working with, we already know. So each time those clueless ones will come and say, is it not abandoned property? We will buy all of them. We will buy your house. We will chase you out. My brother, we are waiting for you people. Organized crime. Somebody who is Obioma Taylor will come out and buy your whole village. Say, now we go. They some gullible boys say they have the God of wealth. God of wealth. It's okay. Where we come from, we use money. Money don't use us. We use money. Money don't use us. I see Omokaro, and of course, only one Igbo Biafra man here. Others will come later. And so, fellow Nigerians, this is not just about the South-South and the Southeast saga. This is about the whole Nigeria. Every ethnic group, no matter how small you are, tell your children their true origin. Don't lie to them. Because a day will come, they begin to ask questions. And you will see, we are closer, we are more related than we can anticipate. But with the presence of these criminal Igbo people who say they come from Israel, we may be lost forever. I'm George ONYIBE and I sign off from here. I'll still be back. We go nowhere.